We continue with our moving averages example by first creating a time series data set called daily sales. Just like with the previous example, the main advantage is having a clean data set with auto-incremented row numbers and a sorted time series on sales dates with associated sales amounts. If not a single day is missing from the time series, we would not need the row numbers. The dates themselves would act as indices for this exercise. However, this is not the case. That is, there are missing dates, as you will see after you run the create table and insert into code. The gaps may not be as easy to spot, but you will see the total number of rows is 349, starting with January 1st and ending with December 31st. So there must be about 16 or 17 days missing, slightly more than 2 weeks worth of dates. The trick to creating a record set with 7-day or weekly moving averages is to use the self join of the daily sales table on itself using between operator that essentially defines the 7-day window of the current row and the past 6 rows using the row number. We will demonstrate the alternative code using windowing functions over with partition by and few other statements that are not available in the community version of MySQL. Now I'm going to create this code from scratch by opening my SQL file. But first I'm going to create the daily sales table and insert into it from the inner join of orders, order details, and products as shown here. Okay, so the daily sales table is going to have a data set of total sales, by order date, group by order date, coming from all these tables that are needed to make that calculation and make that happen. Okay, going here. Let's see if it's all running. Yep, daily sales right here. Look at the data. You will see the dates January 1st, 25. It's just 1 year to December 31st, 25, but there are 349 records as mentioned, so some dates are missing and we don't really sort of care at this point what they are. I'm going to clean this up and go back to the code. Okay, so the next thing is to, I'm not sure why I have this twice, I'm going to delete that. The next thing is to sort of discuss or create this query that is going to create a self join on this daily sales record set. Okay, daily sales table as follows. So we'll start with a select daily sales dot sale date, comma, daily sales dot sale amount. Those are the two columns created in this previous query, right? That correspond to these two columns over here, and then average of daily sales. I'm going to call this past. Okay, so daily sales underscore past is the self join. Okay, it's the alias for the same table. So I'm going to sale amount. Okay, and I'm going to call this column moving average. Okay, it's going to come from daily sales inner join on itself, daily sales, but the second daily sales is aliased as daily sales past. Right there. Okay, on daily sales past dot row number between daily sales dot row number -6, so this is 6 past days, and the current daily sales date. Okay, so I talk about these as if these were dates, consecutive dates, but they're not necessarily, as we talked about before. If you don't use the row numbers but use the sales date, you will not get the correct moving average, 7-day moving average, because of these missing dates. An alternative is to impute missing days with null values, but that's way too complicated. This is easier. Okay, so then we're going to group that by daily sales date and amount over here. Okay, and finally we'll order by daily sales row number. I'm going to copy paste this guy. Okay, so I'm going to select this code, copy paste it, run it, and to verify this, I'm going to copy the result into, again, another blank Excel file. Okay, I'm going to paste the code, paste the result rather. Okay, I'll format it so that it doesn't have these annoying empty times. Okay, and I'm going to check the moving average. Okay, so obviously the first day is just repeating, then this guy is the average of these two, 663.13. I want to come to day 7, which is the average of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dates. It should be 4,080 and change. Okay, and then if I copy this down, all these numbers should match up, as you can see, going all the way down. Checking up a few of them just to be sure. Okay, so the code did work. I'm not going to just discard this Excel file. I'm going to, let's see what's next. Clean this up, switch back to the presentation, and pause.